Today we are going to practice fraction multiplication and division. It is very important that we see that in both cases we are going or we don't need to have a common denominator. We can do fraction multiplication and division with different denominators. We don't have to transform fractions. In the case of multiplications, the process is simple. We need to multiply both or more if we have more than two, both numerators, and they will create a numerator also. We will multiply both or more denominators and they will become the denominator of the fraction that is the answer. So if we got something like maybe 2/3 multiplied by 1/5, our answer will be 2 times 1, that will be the numerator, 3 times 5, that will be the denominator. In the case of the division, if you saw, division, it's made like crossed multiplications, where you are going to multiply A by D, and we will have it in the top part. B, it's going to be multiplied by C, and it's going to be on the bottom part or the denominator. So if we have the same 2/3 divided by 1/5, we will get 2 multiplied by 5, and that will be on the top part. That will give us 10. 3 multiplied by 1, and in the bottom part, that will give us 3. Remember, we always need to simplify the answers. So we need to look if these numbers can get simplified. In these cases, you cannot simplify them because there are no common divisors between them. So we are going to see some examples now of fraction multiplication and division. So let's see. Multiplication has many signs. We can use an X to perform a multiplication. We can also use a point, or we can put some parentheses. So we can use many types of signs to make multiplications. We need to see here that in this case, remember, we need to multiply both numerators but denominators. So we will have 14 15ths. We will need to see if this can get simplified. We cannot simplify it, so that's the correct answer. In the next one is the same. 5 times 1 is 5 over 24. It cannot get simplified, so this is the answer. And in the other one, we will get 9 times 2, that would be 18. And in the bottom part, 5 times 4, that will be 20. So we can simplify this fraction because we can get divided by 2, and we will get 9/10. So this will be our final answer. In this case, where we have multiplications of fractions that can get simplified, we can do it in the first step of the solution. If we saw like we have the same exercise, 2/5 multiplied by 9/4, we can see that 4 and 2 are divisible because we can like write this as 2 over 5 multiplied by 9 over 2 times 2. We can eliminate this. We will get then 9 in the top part, 10 in the bottom part, and that will be another process that we can make to multiply two fractions, making the simplification in the beginning, not at the end. That's your selection. You can do it at the beginning, you can do it at the end. That's the decision that you need to make. Let's see another examples. If we got this 7/10 multiplied by 5/21, we will use both ways. We will first multiply and then simplify, and also first simplify and then multiply. So if we first multiply, we will get on the top part 7 times 5, that will be 35. 10 multiplied 21, that will give us 2010. Then here we can start simplifying, dividing by 5. That will give us 7 in the top part. In the bottom part, we will have to make the division. We will have 42. Then we can divide by 7, because both terms can get divided by 7, and we will have 1 over 6. So we will have 1/6, and that will be our final answer. If we don't want to simplify it after multiplying, what can we do is next. We can put 7/10 multiplied by 5/21. We can decompose these numbers. 7 cannot get decomposed. 2 times 5, it's 10. In the bottom part of the other fraction, we can also divide or decompose 7 times 3. Then we can eliminate 7 with 7, 5 with 5. In the top part, we eliminate everything, so we have a 1. And in the bottom part, 2 times 3, it's 6. And we will have the same answer that in the other process. So it's your decision. You can multiply first and then make the simplification, or you can simplify it first and then do the multiplication. Let's see some other examples. Also, if we have some fractions that can get simplified before multiplying them, we can simplify those fractions. I mean, 2/6 can be simplified if we divide by 2, and we will have 1/3 multiplied. The other fraction can also get simplified, and we will have, let me see, we will have, if we divide by 5, we will have 2. If we divide by 5, we will have 1/2. Then you can make the multiplication. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6. And we will get 1/6. Let's see another example. If we got, I don't know, maybe make a big one. 26/54 multiplied by 9 out of, I don't know, 24. Then we can simplify first and then make the multiplication. We can simplify this fraction. If we can get divided by 2, we will have 13 on the top. In the bottom, we will have 27. In the other part, we can simplify it because we can divide by 3. We will have 3 on the top part as numerator, 8 in the bottom part as denominator. Then we can multiply and then simplify, or we can decompose these numbers and we will get 13 cannot get decomposed. 27 is 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. If we don't know how to decompose a number, we can make prime number decomposition. That will give us 9, that will give us 3, that will give us 1. So 27 is decomposed in 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. We can do the same. Well, number 3 cannot get decomposed. Number 8 can get decomposed. It's 4, 2, and 1. That will give us 2 times 2 times 2. We can eliminate 1/3 of the top part with 1/3 of the bottom part. So in the top part we will get 13. In the bottom part we will have 8 times 3 by 3. That will give us 24 multiplied by 3. That will give us 72. So the answer to this problem will be 13 over 72. Remember, you can also multiply it first and then make all the simplifications. It's up to you. If you try to do that part or that process, you will need to get the same answer, 13 over 72. So let's see. What happens when we have mixed numbers is the same process. First, we can make them improper fractions, and after that, we can first simplify and then multiply, or first multiply and then simplify. So to become an improper fraction, we multiply this and we add the top part. That will give us 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17/3 multiplied, remember parentheses means also multiplied, 8 times 3, that will give us 24, plus 5, that will give us 29 over 8. So first we can try to decompose 17, 29, and 30. There are like prime numbers, so the only number we can decompose is 8, but it won't help you because it won't eliminate with anything. So we can make the multiplication. That will give us 24 in the bottom part, and in the top part we will have 29 by 17. That will give us 493. So we will have 493 over 24. That will be our final answer. And because we did or tried to do the simplification in the beginning, we know that this specific fraction cannot get simplified because we tried to do it on this part. So maybe that's a good thing of this process. We know that we will get a fraction in the end that it's not needed to simplify it, or that cannot get simplified because we are simplifying in this part. If we simplify in this part, then this fraction it's not simplified. We don't need to simplify it. So we don't need because it will be simplified. So let's see a final example of multiplication to go to the video. Let's see the last example of multiplication. We will see these two prime numbers. I mean these two mixed numbers. We are going to try to multiply them. First, convert them into improper fractions. That will give us 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22/3, multiplied by 6 times 5, that it's 30, plus 1, it's 31 over 6, or 31/6. So let's see, we can decompose these numbers. 22 is 2 multiplied by 11. 3 cannot get decomposed. 31 is a prime number, so cannot get decomposed. 6 is 2 times 3. So we can eliminate these two with these two. Then we will get 31 multiplied by 11. 31 multiplied by 11. That will give us 341 in the top part. In the bottom part we will have 9, and because we simplified in the beginning, we know that this fraction cannot get simplified, so this is my final answer. 341 over 9, or 341 ninths. Let's see one example, maybe with 3 or more numbers. It's the same. Let's see another example. So let's see this example. If we have 3 fractions multiplying, it's the same. We can simplify them first and then make the multiplication. So let's see. 5 cannot get decomposed. 6 can get decomposed in 2 times 3. 8 can decompose on 2 times 2 times 2. 15 can get decomposed on 3 by 5. Then 2 cannot get simplified, and 7 cannot get simplified. So let's see. We can eliminate this 2 with this 2. Maybe this 5 with this 5. So in the top part we will have 8 over, in the bottom part, 9. 3 by 3 it's 9, multiplied by 7 it's 63. So our final answer, that we know it's simplified because we do the simplification here. So if we do the simplification here, remember, it will give us the result simplified. So that's our final answer. So for division, we can use these 2 signs. Maybe this is the most common, but we can use also these 2 points to represent a division. So be aware, if these 2 points appear, that means a division. So how we can make a division? Remember, the rule of division is to make like a crossed multiplication. So in this case, if we do it directly, will be 2 times 7. That will be on the top part. So it will be 14 over 3 multiplied by 6. That will give us 18. Then we can simplify dividing by 2. So we will get 7 over 9, and that will be our final answer. So as in multiplication, we can also make another method to first simplify and then make the division. So we can get the result simplified at the beginning, or not need to simplify it after making the division. So how can we do that? One form, it's 2/3, the sign of division, 6/7. One form is that we can transform a division in multiplication. If we turn this, that it's going to, we can make numerator as denominator and backwards denominator as numerator. So we can represent this as a multiplication, as 2/3 multiplied by 7/6. If we do that part, then we can decompose these numbers. So we will have 2/3 by 7. Remember, 6 we can decompose in 2 times 3. We can eliminate these 2 with these 2. So our final answer will be 7/9. And this will be our final answer, and we know it's simplified because we made simplification here. Let's see some other examples. So let's see these examples. Remember, you can transform a division in multiplication. If we transform it, or we change this part, the part that it's after the sign, if we turn numerator as denominator and denominator as numerator, so we will have 15/16 multiplied by 8/5. So this is the same as this. Then we can decompose the numbers. 15 it's 3 multiplied by 5. 16 it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. 5 it's only 5. So let's see, we can eliminate this 5 with this 5. We can eliminate this with this, this with this, this with this. So we will have only as a result 3 halves. We will be getting a simplified answer because we made the simplification here in this part. So this is a common process to multiply two fractions out of a division. So division can become a multiplication if we do this trick of moving the second or the fraction that it's after the division sign. Let's see some other example. So let's see this example. If we have 50 over 27 divided by 10 ninths, the first thing we can do is, like always, we can change a division into a multiplication, changing these two. So we will have 50 over 27 multiplied by 9 over 10. So then we can decompose. Remember, if you don't remember how to decompose it mentally, you can always use prime numbers to decompose it. 2 that will give us 25, 5 that will give us 5, 5 that will give us 1. So 50 can get decomposed in 5 by 5 by 2. Then in the division 27, it's 3, 9, 3, 3, 3, 1. So that will give us 3 by 3 multiplied by 3. That gets multiplied by 9, that it's 3 multiplied by 3. 10, it's 2 multiplied by 5. We can eliminate the same numbers, 5 and 5, 3 and 3, 3 and 3. So our final answer will be 10. No, sorry, we don't eliminate these twos. These two and these two can get eliminated. So we will have as a final answer only 5 over 3. And that will be our final answer. So this is a good way. If we made this decomposition, we don't need to work with big numbers. We can decompose first and then make a simple multiplication. So I prefer to use this method, but if you want to use the other method of first multiplying or first dividing and then making the simplification, you can do it. But I prefer you to do this type of method because it can be very helpful for you in the future. Let's see another example. So remember, this sign, two dots or points, will also represent a division. So what can we do with when we have mixed numbers to make a division? First, we can transform them also to improper fractions. 2 times 5, and we add number 1, that will give us 11 halves divided by 7 times 3, it's 21 plus 1, that will give us 22 over 7. So we can transform this into a multiplication. If we change these two of order, we will have 11 halves multiplied by 7 over 22. We can decompose these numbers. 22 can get decomposed in 11 by 2. So we can write this as 11 by 2 multiplied by 7 over 2 by 11. We can eliminate this 11 with this 11. So our final answer will be only 7 in the top part, and in the bottom part we will have a 4. So this will be our final answer. So as I was telling you, if we make this decomposition, we will have like a very easy multiplication and not a very difficult one. So I prefer to use this method over doing it first the multiplication and then the simplification. So it's up to you guys. I will see only one more example with three numbers, how to make a division between three numbers. If we have a division between three fractions, we cannot make them in one step. We can't or we need to do one part in the beginning and then the other part. So this part we can do it as always. We can turn the division to become a multiplication. So we will have 15 over 14 or 15 fourteenths. So if we decompose these numbers, we will get 15, it's 3 times 5. 14, it's 7 times 2. We can eliminate this 7 with this one, this 5 with this one. So we will get the final answer, or this part is 3 halves. So let's put that 3 halves divided by 2 ninths. We can't change this fraction, so we will have 3 halves. This one can modify it to become a multiplication, will be 9 over 2. That will give us, you can decompose 9 as 3 by 3 but cannot get eliminated, so we can multiply it and it will be 27 over 4 or 27 fourths. So that will be the procedure if we have three fractions divided. We first made the first two of them, and after we have an answer of that division, we made the other part of the division. We cannot make it in a single step. So that's all for today. You can do activity 6, please.